बंदे ने मुझे देखा, कहता hey you get out.
Oh, shit.
मैंने कहा sir I fit, you get out here. Someone told me once like वैसे he's like भाई यार तू तो बड़ा स्टार बन गया. मैंने कहा भाई मैं स्टार नहीं, मैं अभी भी तेरा यार हूँ. Comedy is something I thought is one of the toughest genres. I've never attempted comedy. Fukrey was my first outing with comedy.
Arun, welcome to Spill the Tea.
Thank you, thank you.
I am very excited to catch you on the show at a very, very exciting phase of your career.
Yes, yes.
And I also thought that it would be interesting to sort of take you back to the start.
Absolutely, it feels so nostalgic to be right here. So for everyone,
Context दे दो.
हाँ जी, ये अभी जो हम हैं, ये हम मुंबई में आराम नगर में हैं, जहाँ पे मेरे जैसे बहुत ही एक्टर्स की शुरुआत होती है, बुनियाद होती है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे वो एक खूबसूरत चीज़ है जहाँ पे हर एक्टर पहली बारी जब इस शहर में आता है तो जाता है, जो कि है ऑडिशन स्टूडियोज़. ऑडिशन स्टूडियोज़ जो है वो यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा है. एंड यू नो वी यूज्ड टू कम हियर, स्टैंड इन लाइन्स, do auditions, ask, sir, do I fit, do I not fit in, crack those ads, crack those films. So it's one of the most holy places for any actor, and I think one of the most nostalgic feelings for me right now to be in this area. There used to be a lot of studios piche where we just walked by. There used to be a studio out here, and okay, so आ जाओ भाई.
Hello.
Thank you.
थोड़ा सा
अभी चश्मा पहन के भी
You know, I'm going to come to the auditions in a bit, but this is exactly why I was saying very, very exciting phase in your career. We're literally on the second weekend of Fukrey 3, inching towards the 80 crore mark.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. We just surpassed Fukrey Returns number today and inching towards that.
And why it's also notable was that this came out along with the Jawan wave.
Yeah.
So the truth is that Fukra Varun is not feeling so Fukra right now, huh?
No, I am. I think I'm a huge Shah Rukh fan my own self. Interestingly, my journey, the thought of being an actor was because of Mr. Khan.
Achha.
I was about 7 years old and Bazigar was playing on TV and मैं उस टाइम पे तोतला बोलता था. And मैं बेड पे खड़े होकर गाना लग गया, ये ताली ताली आंखें, ये दोरे दोरे दाल. I ran up to my mother, I was like, मम्मी मुझे बड़े होके एक्टर बनना है प्लीज़, मुझे बड़े होके हीरो बनना है प्लीज़, कैसे ये करना है. Like every mother, she said, बेटा अभी खाना खा लो, बाद में जाके बात करते हैं. But that just stayed with me for a very, very long time, and that was the initial seeding of thought that I wanted to act, and this is something was my calling and what I wanted to do. So feel really fortunate here, I'm getting a chance to do that. And on top of that our trailer, for that matter, Fukrey 3 trailer, was attached with Jawan. So yeah, it was like
it's all full circle in
all
many ways.
Full circle.
You know, I also saw this video of you sort of getting mobbed outside the theatre.
Yeah.
It was really nice to watch. I want to know what was going on in your head in that moment. Like, is this the validation that an actor sort of secretly dreams of at some level?
It is. I think the most beautiful feelings, I think it's to get accepted by the audience and to get their love. And I feel, you know, Fukrey for me has been, it's very, very special. It's the character that I debuted with. Choocha is something that, you know, it's the first time I saw my own self on screen, and it's the character that gave me all the love and the acceptance that I have today. And with the third installment of Fukrey, once we went to multiplexes to see the reactions, got immense amount of love. It was beautiful. We also went to Gaiety Galaxy. Like I went to Gaiety Galaxy, which is a single, जिनको नहीं पता है, Gaiety Galaxy एक single screen, one of the oldest single screen cinema है जो मुंबई में है, और वो एकदम validation का epitome है किसी भी film maker के लिए. So we went there.
Because you can't cheat the Gaiety crowd.
Yeah, you can't cheat the Gaiety crowd, and it's a 1,000 seater cinema. 1,000 लोग जब एक साथ बैठ के जब film देखते हैं, it's a different inertia altogether. So I went there and it was a packed show, and I came out and then I met a lot of people out there, and it was just such a beautiful feeling you know, the most beautiful feeling is when you see someone and they have a smile on their face.
Yeah.
You know, you can't fake
Listen,
that. You
you're
can't.
underplaying it. You didn't meet. You were standing outside a car
Yeah,
and like
no.
एकदम मतलब hero की तरह.
Sorry, nahi, but it's just beautiful to get that love.
Tell me about a compliment that really overwhelmed you over the last couple of days, weeks.
Last couple of days, I think the biggest compliment that really overwhelmed me that, you know, my mother, once she saw the film and she said that, Beta, you are exactly pulling off what you did 10 years back. You know, that means that the rawness and the freshness that
That is a
Choocha
big compliment.
required,
Yeah.
you know, which when I did when I was 22 years old in back in 2012, 2013, to do the same thing, and it was a continuation, and she didn't
Yeah.
like feel कि अरे हट गया है या maturity आ गई
Star बन गया
या
बन
वो
गया
हो गया. She said that you did it with that same honesty and that same innocence which you had 10 years back. So I think because that was my aim, that was Choocha's aim to kind of crack that and to to kind of go back to where it all started, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I think that was very humbling and that was very nice. And I was happy that my mother's proud of me when she saw it. So yeah, I think whatever I do it for my mom and my sister.
That
So
is
yeah.
very sweet. I want to talk a little bit about just Choocha and the legend of Choocha because you have. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
बहुत अच्छी लगती है आपकी फिल्में देखते हैं,
Thank
आपकी
you.
एक्टिंग बहुत अच्छी लगती
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank. यार मेरे साथ ये नहीं होता है. I'm just letting you know. उनका ना इंटरव्यू चल रहा है.
Sir, thank you.
है।
Thank
आपको
you.
डिस्टर्ब किया?
नहीं, thank you.
I will put this on record कि ये ज़्यादा मतलब होता नहीं है spill the tea पे.
You are
And there's a reason we didn't go to the theaters because we wanted to actually have a conversation.
Yes.
But I'm coming back to my question. What is it about Choocha? Because obviously this love is
yeah.
largely for the character
Correct.
of Choocha. You have dabbled with a few other characters, but the love
Yeah, of
keeps
course,
coming back to
it's the
Choocha.
initiation. It's
Have you
the-
put your finger on what it is about
I
this
think-
character that has just touched people
I think
so?
it's Choocha's relatability. I personally feel. I think I think Choocha is I think the innocence, the innocence and the relatability. You know, in every group, that's what we've observed. We feel there's a Choocha in every group. You know, there
Who
is
is the Choocha?
huh?
Who is the Choocha of a group?
A Choocha of the group is someone who's absolutely very cute. Firstly, very important, and I think someone who just speaks his mind out without thinking. Often lands up his friends into trouble, but also is by their side when the trouble is happening and doesn't run away. And I think does everything with a lot of honesty, not thinking about what the repercussions are going to be. You know, that is what a Choocha is for me, and I think that is there in every group. That's why the relatability is such. मतलब मैं वही कहता हूँ कि whenever I meet, you know, it's so beautiful and I love it and I feel really blessed and thankful. Whenever I meet, whenever I'm in a crowd, whenever I meet people, whether it's an airport, whether it's on the streets, anywhere and all that, no one comes and addresses me as sir. No one. He's like, अरे भाई कैसे हो, कहाँ जा रहे हो?
They feel like they sort of own you in a
They
sense.
feel that I am the घर का बच्चा, and it is the most beautiful feeling to have. I met, you know, parents and kids. It's like it's just they just open up their houses to, and it's the most beautiful feeling to kind of get, and you know that is something that, and you like you aim for, right? And at the end of the day, I'm often asked this so many times, Are, aren't you scared to get typecasted? Aren't you scared that you only do comedy films? Aren't you scared that, you know, there's no one will do anything else and all that? Ki monotonous na ho jaye. For me, the biggest feeling and the biggest blessing is if I can make someone smile. I can make someone laugh. We've stopped doing that in in our personal, in our real lives. हम नहीं हंसाते लोगों को एक दूसरे में. हम नहीं हंसाते. And अगर मुझे सबसे बड़ा माध्यम जो है, जो कि सिनेमा है, उसके ज़रिए मुझे मौका मिल रहा है लोगों के चेहरे पे स्माइल लाने का, हंसाने का, मैं क्यों नहीं करूँगा यार? Because the reaction when I meet people is they already have a smile on their faces and it's the most beautiful feeling to have. It's a meditative state. You know, when you laugh, when you are laughing loudly or when you watch something and you laugh, there's no thought that crosses your mind. It's a meditative state. So if you are giving a feeling to someone of that meditative state, why
You're
will
blessed.
why will you stop it? And for what?
Yeah.
So I get very irritated with that. I get very irritated with
So I will not
that.
ask.
No, of course. No, but with due
No.
respect, I really want to try out different genres. Yeah.
Sure.
It's not that
I was actually reading a review, Tried and Refused Productions, where Anmol Jamwal said that this is the dichotomy of an actor where a character can become his biggest boon and his bane.
Yeah.
So, do you want to put the message out to the universe that is there a genre that you'd really be
But I'll tell
also
you-
interested in trying?
Interestingly, when I used to do theatre, which was a rigorous theatre for about 5-6 years before I came down to Mumbai, comedy was something that I never attempted in my life. I used to do Anton Chekhov's plays. I used to do Ashwathama and Andha Yog and Ye Dhanush hai mera, Dhanush Ashwathama ka. I used to do all of that. Comedy is something I thought is one of the toughest genres. I've never attempted comedy. Fukrey was my first outing with comedy. And then with the grace of God, it became my genre, it became my forte, and it became like, something that I really started enjoying it, and I continued doing it. But of course, given a part, I'm an actor at the end of the day. I don't like it when people said, "Arey, wo comedian hai." He's an actor who's doing comedy. He's an actor who's who's excelling in probably a drama. That's why you say, कि अरे भाई ये आप actioner तो नहीं बोलते अगर कोई करता है. So it's an actor who excels in the action genre. It's an actor that excels in the comedy genre. It's an actor who excels in probably a thriller. It's an actor who excels in negative shades.
So, what would that genre be for you?
I
Something that,
love thrillers. I love it.
what are you saying?
Love thrillers and I love grey shades. And it'll be interesting ना कि यार भाई ये तो मार ही नहीं सकता. कि नहीं अपना भाई
चूचा कैसा कर
ये
लेगा
भाई
यार?
कैसे मार लेगा भाई मार ही नहीं सकता यार. तो वो अगर मैं कन्विंसिंग अगर पिक्चर देखने के बाद इमेजिन इफ आई प्ले लाइक अ किलर एंड इफ समवन सेज दैट अरे नहीं इसने तो मारा नहीं होगा ये नहीं मार सकता, देन आई हैव नॉट डन अ ग्रेट जॉब करेक्टली. But if I can prove that and make them believe everything, then that's what my
That's
aim
your
is,
job
and that's
well
what
done.
I want to like strive towards.
I was actually watching a podcast that you did recently, and उसके नीचे एक comment था where someone has written, "Never in my wildest dreams did I expect Choocha to be this eloquent and mature. Lesson learned: never judge a book by its cover."
Yeah. There are sometimes the book is also empty inside, or sometimes it's written way too much. But yeah, I know what you're
How
saying.
much of Varun is in Choocha?
How much of Varun is in Choocha? A lot. A lot of Varun is in Choocha, and a lot of things that Varun has learned from Choocha, to be very honest. I think, people think that they have a very strong, people have hobbies like singing and dancing. I have a hobby of thinking. So
Of
that's
what?
my hobby, of thinking.
अच्छा.
I'm a hardcore overthinker. I really think everything through, right? From ये कैसे, तो कहाँ तक, तो रास्ते में क्या, तो
You
वो
mean
सब.
daydreaming? Yeah.
No, thought process, like thinking. I'll think a lot. That's my hobby. I love it. And people often think, like, by the characters that I play must have that perception that ये तो सोचता नहीं होगा भाई. So no, one thing that I've learned from Choocha is no matter how problematic the situation is, or how bad the day is going, you should just be happy and be content with that particular minute that you are in.
It's as
Because
simple as that.
it's as simple as that. It's also आप बोलना आसान होता है, उसको implement करना उतना ही मुश्किल होता है. बट मेरा वो फंड है, मैंने ये चीज़ उससे सीखी है. चूचा नहीं सोचता, उसने कर दिया, बोल दिया, कर दिया, अपना एंजॉय, अपना देख लो भाई. But he's not dumb. He's a very emotional guy. He has a lot of thought. He has a lot of brain. Probably he puts it out in a different manner. But at the same time, his funda is just to be happy in that particular moment. You'll see Fukrey 3. There's a sequence. It's beautiful the way he's written it and the way Mrig Lamba sir has adapted it and directed it. There's a sequence where everyone, the antagonist, which is Dhingra, he's beating up, the goons are beating up the Fukras and everything and all that, and Choocha just runs up and all that. He runs up and and just to escape from the goons, he enters into the slide.
Huh.
A water slide.
Huh.
He enters into the water slide and then he just enjoys that particular moment. He comes out, they're still beating. So he says, "Kya, मैं एक बारी और करके आ जाता हूँ." Because he knows इसको वापस पिटना ही है. But at least for that particular moment, he's like, let me just have fun. He knows the end result is going to be that only. So might as well enjoy a little in between. So I think that is something that
Stayed with you.
Stayed with me, and that you learn that whatever the situation is, just be happy for that particular moment, man. Just be happy for that particular time, and nothing in this world is कि मतलब कि कोई चीज़ फिक्स नहीं हो सकती, ऐसा है ही नहीं कुछ यार. आपको प्रॉब्लम कौन देता है? कौन देता है? इंसान. है कौन वो? इंसान.
इंसान.
How is it not कि रेक्टिफाई नहीं हो सकता?
That is true.
You know, we say अरे यार मेरे को बहुत डर लग रहा है, वो इतने बड़े आदमी हैं, उनसे कैसे? है तो इंसान ही ना. आप भी इंसान हो, वो भी इंसान है तो वो ही ना. आप कोई ऐसे और कोई फोर्स के पास तो नहीं जा रहे हो. एक बंदे के पास जा रहे हो जिसका स्टैचर में वेरिएशन हो सकती है, बट
नहीं, but speaking of that stature, today you come here as a very different person.
Yes.
But 10 years ago when you came here, आप
Yeah.
ऐसे ही सोचते थे या कुछ?
नहीं, ये तो 10 साल मैच्योर भी हुआ थोड़ा यार. मैं ऐसे नहीं सोचता था. मैं उस टाइम पे तो सोचता ही नहीं था, तभी तो हो गया. उस टाइम पे दिमाग, कहते हैं जब दिमाग ज़्यादा लगा लो तो ये चीज़ें मुश्किल और ज़्यादा हम खुद के लिए कर लेते हैं. आपको दिमाग नहीं लगाना चाहिए, चीज़ें अपने आप हो जाती है. मेरा ये फंड है. मैं जलंधर से हूँ, मेरे को नहीं पता था भाई कैसे होता है, क्या होता है. यहाँ पे जहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं,
I see 120 जो आपने बोला था.
करेक्ट, ये सारे स्टूडियोज हैं. तो
अच्छा.
यहाँ पे जब हम आते थे सुबह तैयार होके, इधर ऑडिशंस की लाइन लगती थी. 300-400 बंदा लाइन में खड़ा हुआ है. अभी चेंज हो गया, अभी सेल्फ टेस्ट पे आ गए हैं और काफ़ी चीज़ें हो गई.
मतलब वीडियो खुद बना
दे. कोविड के बाद से थोड़ा सा परिवर्तन आया, और कोविड के टाइम पे परिवर्तन आया जब आप मिलते नहीं थे, जितना मुझे नॉलेज है.
तो आप आते थे?
हम आते थे, हम लाइन में खड़े होते थे, तैयार होके आते थे. सबसे मुश्किल चीज़ मुझे और सबसे बुरी चीज़ जो लगती है कि जब मैं, मान लीजिए जब मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा था और मैं आया था, मैं 4 महीने 6 महीने के बाद मैं घर जाता था, तो मेरे फ्रेंड्स, मेरे रिश्तेदार कोई पूछते थे कि भाई तेरा काम कैसा चल रहा है. मैंने कहा आपने वो ऐड देखी थी, मैंने वो ऐड करी थी, अभी आई थी. उनका था कि अरे वो तो एक दिन में बन गई होगी, बाकी टाइम क्या करा. पीपल डोंट अंडरस्टैंड कि एज एन एक्टर, व्हेन यू एस्पायरिंग टू बी एन एक्टर, व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स गेटिंग दैट फर्स्ट ब्रेक, काम ढूंढना भी एक काम है. People don't understand that, which is very wrong, which is fair, because someone who doesn't know will not understand it.
No,
Because
but tell me, वो कैसे करते हैं? Like, what is the process? Like, how does one know
I-
where
how
the
I-
auditions are happening?
how I started is there used to be a
सब
lot
बोलते हैं आराम नगर जाओ, but you can't just like. what
but
do you-
पहले होता था, अब नहीं होता.
हाँ.
पहले ऐसे होता था कि हर स्टूडियो के बाहर लाइन लगती थी और वहाँ पे लिखा होता था, मेजरली एड्स के बहुत ऑडिशन होते थे यहाँ पे, तो लगा होता था कि XYZ ब्रांड का है एंड नीड मेल 20 to 25 years अप मार्केट. एंड तो हम जाते थे और वहाँ पे कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर्स होते थे, उनके असिस्टेंट होते थे, तो हम खड़काते थे, पूछते थे हाय सर डू आई फिट, तो कहते थे कि या यू कैन फिट. तो साइन होता था फॉर्म पे, फिर आप लाइन में लगो, ऑडिशन दो. वरना वो बोल देते थे नहीं यू डोंट फिट, यू लुक लिटिल ओल्ड टू द पार्ट दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट, यू लुक अ लिटिल यंगर टू व्हाट वी आर लुकिंग एट, वी आर लुकिंग फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर, फॉर एग्जांपल नॉर्थ इंडियन. So it's different things and all that as per the briefs that they used to get and all that. So and यहाँ पे आते थे तो सुबह उठते के साथ ही मैंडेट होता था. यहाँ पे एक एरिया है आराम नगर में, we used to kind of roam outside studios, do all of that. Then there used to
We
be
मतलब you had friends.
I had, obviously you
who
can't
were
be.
also.
So when 500 people are standing in a line for about 5 hours, you make 50 friends, out of which 5 are true, and 4 out of which will probably tell you where they're going next. So it's like a full circuit. It's like a network.
It's very
It's
fascinating.
the aspiring actors network, which is there. So yeah, and then you have coordinators where you get messages. So they used to send like a broadcast message of like 1,000 people, and everyone would land up there only. And so it's very interesting.
Was
It's
there
very-
a rejection that particularly hurt?
a lot of time. So for me, I don't treat my initial days as struggling days, or I've struggled so much and you know I had a struggle. For me, it's always been, I treat it as a learning period and a learning phase. I think every rejection has kind of taught me a lot. Every rejection and every failure has kind of you understand life, right? You understand a lot of things. There have been times, I'm not going to name the guy, but it's a very interesting chapter that how it all changes. So I was auditioning. There's an ad audition that happened in Shriji. Okay, that's in ओशीवारा. ये जो श्रीजी है ये भी एक एरिया है मुंबई में, ओशीवारा में, जहाँ पे ऑडिशंस होते हैं. तो मैं वहाँ पे
it's a master class for aspiring actors, ना देख लेना. All this dope is coming out.
तो मैं ऐसे ना, मैंने वहाँ पे ऐसे लाइन थी, तो मैं फुल तैयार त्यूर होके गया. वो लाइन थी तो मैंने दरवाजे पे लाइन थी, तो मैंने ना अंदर बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हुए थे अंदर, तो मैंने ऐसे दरवाज़ा खोला. मैंने दरवाज़ा खोला तो वो बंदे ने मुझे देखा, कहता hey you get out.
Oh shit.
मैंने कहा सर आई फिट. you get out here. मुझे बड़ा बुरा लगा, तो मैं ऐसे करके वापस आया. Cut to, मैंने कहा ठीक है. Cut to, the same guy who was casting for that ad was a casting director on the film that I had signed and I was on the poster. So he came on set. He's like, "अरे वरुण सर कैसे हो आप? कुछ भी होगा मुझे बताना please." So you never know how it changes, and what happens. Most importantly, out of this is be nice to human beings. Be nice to each other. You never know what happens when, and you know that is something which is the most basic things. Chaos, time management, madness, you know, hustle bustle, stress. There is no excuse for someone being respectful and just to be nice.
Yeah, which we forget.
Which we forget. Which we forget. अरे सॉरी यार, मैं ना उस दिन मेरा दिमाग ही चल रहा था, मैं बहुत क्यों. ये एक बेसिक चीज़. आप सांस ले रहे हैं, उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट आपके लिए कि दूसरी ज़िंदगी को, दूसरे ह्यूमन लाइफ को आप रिस्पेक्ट से बात कर लें, बस. दैट इज़ माई थिंग.
You know, this is also 10 years of Varun Sharma, the actor.
Oh yes, wow.
Yeah, congratulations
Thank you.
on that as well. What have you learnt about the industry over the last decade?
About the industry, I think, to be very honest, I truly feel, I truly believe, it's a very welcoming industry.
That's
I'm as they say, I'm an outsider. सिर्फ एक चीज़ है हमारी इंडस्ट्री में, जब आप कर रहे हो, आप झूठ नहीं बोल सकते. कल को मेरी टेक्सटाइल की इंडस्ट्री होगी, फैक्ट्री होगी, आप मेरे से पूछेंगे काम कैसा चल रहा है, मैं बोलूँगा बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है. आप मेरी बुक्स आके नहीं देखोगे, आप मान लोगे. लेकिन अगर मैं एज एन एक्टर आपको बोलूँगा, आप मेरे से पूछोगे काम कैसा चल रहा हूँ, मैं बोलूँगा बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, आप बोलोगे दिखे तो हो नहीं. तो हम एज एक्टर्स झूठ नहीं बोल सकते.
Yeah.
तो ये मेरा
Not on
पर्सपेक्टिव
set and not off set.
ये
also.
मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव है कि नहीं बोल सकते. उसकी वजह से ये सारी चीज़ें होती रहती हैं, क्योंकि आप कभी भी किसी और को नहीं पूछोगे कि आपका काम कैसे चल रहा है और आप वो बोलेगा यार बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है. आप नहीं बोलोगे अच्छा कैसे दिखा. झूठ भी बोल सकता है ना यार, झूठ भी बोल सकता है. कुछ भी है. तो मेरे को लगता है मैं झूठ नहीं बोल सकता, तो इसीलिए.
Varun, you've also been a casting director.
Yes.
For a bunch of films around here. What titles would you say?
I worked with Nandini Shrikantji, who's a very amazing casting director. That was initially when I finished my graduation. It was on-the-job training.
Achha.
So it was supposed to be for 6 months, but I enjoyed so much working with her that I continued working till the time I cracked my first film.
No, but how did being a casting director sort of
It did.
influence the actor?
It
in
did.
you?
It did. So I worked with her on Ye Jawani Hai Diwani,
Oh, wow.
Reluctant Fundamentalist, Ek Main Aur Ek Tu, Student of the Year, Talash, and a lot of other
Amazing
films.
titles, yeah.
So I worked, and you know, as an actor, when I was preparing, I was giving my auditions and everything. When you see an actor, when you see 200, 300 different actors perform the same scene in so many different variations, there's a lot of learning that you get. कि यार ये इसको इस तरह से भी अप्रोच कर सकते थे, इसको इस तरह से भी आप देख सकते थे, यार ये तो मेरे दिमाग में नहीं आया. So you get to understand from which all perspectives you can see a scene just as an actor without even being directed so much, right? So that was a great learning. And also to sit in a room where the casting is getting finalized, to understand the perspective of what the director wants. Exactly. Because at times when a director wants something, the actor is not translating, but they see the potential that he or she can translate it, or the spark of, "Arey yaar, this is exactly what I wanted." So it's a beautiful blend of a lot of things that we kind of saw, and that's what was my biggest learning was.
What is very interesting here with Fukrey is that on one side there's criticism for some of the writing, there's the reviews, and then there's the box office that can't lie. You're sitting on an 80 crore second weekend. Is that confusing as an actor?
Absolutely not, yeah. I'll tell you, this Fukrey 3, I think we've got some amazing reviews. Majority of us is 4 stars and 3.5, 4,
So you're
4.5. We read 100%. We read, and this is the one. This is out of the 3 films of the franchise. This is got the most amazing reviews, and also the box office numbers, which obviously means that it's been shared with a lot of love by the audience.
We saw that love, matlab on a 10-minute walk only.
No. It's there. I feel that it does matter 100%. you kind of read, you kind of think there are certain perspectives that you feel, oh yeah, maybe the other person saw this and we didn't see it. There are also certain things which we think कि अरे यार ये तो हमने सोच रहे थे भाई ये तो अलग ही reaction आ गया. It's a balance of both the things, right? And at the end of the day, for me as an actor, I personally feel is the most important thing is when you enter the theater, and if people are reacting, if they're having a good time, that's the biggest review here for me personally.
How do you ensure that this sort of connect that you have with the people around, you don't lose that?
No, I love it. I love it. मतलब मेरे को समझ नहीं आया.
मतलब you don't see like actors just sort of connect so closely on
Yeah.
a real time basis with fans.
But I love it. Yeah. So I think it's not. It's a very, you'll find it very cliche, but I'm a very firm believer. It's not fans there. It's like a big family that I feel. Like I personally say that, you know, someone told me once like वैसे he's like भाई यार तू तो बड़ा स्टार बन गया. मैंने कहा भाई मैं स्टार नहीं, मैं अभी भी तेरा यार हूँ. So for me, that friendship, that bond, the characters that I play, the films that I do, it's about friendship. It's about love. It's about, you know, slice of life. It's about happiness. It's about joy. If I'm trying and if my effort is to spread that through cinema, through being on screen, I'll be a hypocrite if I don't do that in real life, off screen. So it is not a constant effort that I do. That's the kind of personality I feel I have, and that's the kind of thing I've grown up with. I think कि अगर मैं on screen आप मेरे से connect कर पा रहे हो, तो off screen भी मैं वही इंसान हूँ at the end of the day, और वैसे ही करना चाहूँगा. तो मेरा इसमें कोई effort नहीं है. मेरा इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि अरे यार मेरे को एक certain type में रहना है, कुछ है. आप connect करते हैं, आप बात करते हैं, तो मैं भी same ही reciprocate करूँगा.
It's true. But I can also imagine that right now there can be a lot of well-wishers who are constantly telling you what you need to do to sort of cash in on this wave and you know how to make the most of it. But I know that you sort of practice this beautiful art of self-talking.
Yeah, fully. बड़ा मजा आता है.
What are you telling yourself right now?
What am I
करना
telling?
क्या है अभी इस वक्त जब मतलब you know Fukrey is
कि अगली बारी जब भी ये वाला इंटरव्यू करेंगे शाम को करना है क्योंकि पसीना में बहना नहीं है. ये हमने डिसाइड करा था कि ये नॉस्टैल्जिया में हम दोपहर के 12 बजे जाएंगे और अब अगली बारी सोच रहे हैं या तो सुबह 8 बजे आ जाएंगे या फिर शाम को 5-6 बजे आ जाएंगे, वरना ऐसे बहेंगे नहीं.
No, but seriously, I'm coming back to that.
I think just feel really happy here and feel really content that, you know.
But pressure नहीं है कि how do I maximize this? How do I?
क्या कर लूँगा प्रेशर लेके? मुझे ऐसा लगता है मैक्सिमम क्या हो जाएगा. सोचूंगा,
जो वैसे भी आपका हॉबी है.
वैसे भी सोचूंगा, जो वैसे भी सोचना है. अरे यार ये करना है अगले साल ना, मेरे को ऐसे 3-4 फिल्में करनी है. एफर्ट तो है ही है. मैं सो के 2 दिन नहीं सोऊंगा, फिर तीसरे दिन उठूंगा, फिर दोबारा ये चीज़ सेम चीज़ सोचूंगा. तो माइट एज वेल मैं धीरे धीरे सोच लूँगा. मुझे ऐसा लगता है यार, है प्रेशर है, सब पे होता है यार, हम पे भी एज एक्टर्स भी है. बिकॉज एवरी फ्राइडे गिव्स यू अ सर्टेन लाइफ. Then you have to again prove something, then you get another life. It's like वो पॉइंट सिक्के डल रहे हैं. मुझे ऐसा लगता है वो गेम नहीं खेलते आप, सिक्के डलते हैं और फिर आपको ऐसे टाइमर मिलता है. आपका एक फ्राइडे हिट हुआ तो आपको एक उसका टाइमर बढ़ गया. आपका खुदा ना खास्ता कुछ ऊपर नीचे सिक्का अटक गया अंदर. सिक्का अटक गया अंदर तो वो आपका टाइम फ्रेम कम हो गया. फिर आपने सिक्का डाला, फिर आपका टाइम फ्रेम बढ़ गया. ऐसा तो है नहीं एक सिक्का डाला और भाई 15-20 साल के लिए बत्ती चल रही है, मस्त गेम खेली जा रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं होता. तो every Friday is a coin that you put into the machine. With the grace of God, if it does well, it gives you that timer. If you're playing it right and with all honesty. But if the sikka gets utcode,
the film flops.
It kind of takes away that time frame that you think that you had. So I'm hoping, and every Friday you have to crack and you have to do it. So it's a constant run. I think you should really give it a thought. You should think it through. You should think with a lot of honesty. You should think with a lot of this thing. Planning is good, but you think you know the plan is not good. You know, I don't know if I'm understanding what I'm saying. Plan करना सही है, लेकिन मुझे पता है और मैं ये मेरा प्लान है और भाई ऐसे करके सॉर्ट होऊंगा. आपको नहीं पता कौन सी चीज़ कब आएगी.
तो आप प्लान करो, उस पर जारी रहो, प्रेशर लो, प्रेशर 100% लो, बट don't let that pressure be the driving force. Let your passion be the driving force. You know, my whole thing is when you have your passion as a driving force, it's great, it's a beautiful feeling. But when you have your pressure as a driving force, that's wrong. हमने पूरी फिल्म बनाई है उस पे यार, छिछोरे.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, try, but you know, you can't be so pressurized also, यार. So yeah, that is.
What's your
बहुत
biggest?
ही deep बातें कर लिया
नहीं,
यार आज
but
मैंने.
what's your biggest challenge right now?
Biggest challenge right now.
It's nice to ask it at your peak, na?
I think the biggest challenge right now, if I'll say, is to surpass and to, I'm hoping and I'm praying to consistently match the expectation that the audience has from me, and the expectations of making them laugh, making them smile, entertain them. There's a certain expectations now they have with the Varun,
Of
right?
course.
So to match that, hopefully with the grace of God, to surpass that is my constant effort and my constant challenge, and also to get the amount of love that Varun has got from in the comedy genre, to get the same amount of love in the various different genres as well is also a big challenge and a constant effort for me right now.
And finally, I can't let you go without asking you for a deja chu.
Deja Chu. Yeah.
What do you see for yourself in the next 5 years?
Wow. Next 5 years.
What does Choocha see for Varun Sharma?
Oh, Choocha sees for Varun Sharma is being on set, being a happy person, probably finding his bholi of his real life, and just being happy and trying to spread as many more smiles as he can, and most importantly, being content and being happy of that current particular day, which is from today after 5 years, and just being happy and keeping the family happy and kicking and living it.
Amazing. I hope your sikka never gets atkod.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you. So great.
much.
Yeah, thank you. Hi guys, I'm on Spill the Tea with Sneha. If you like this video, like, comment and subscribe to
Film companion.